No, we're gonna make people watch us do this?
Evidently.
That was the first line on the stream, by the way.
Alright, take your pants off.
Blah, blah, blah.
I do not
Good
say
evening.
blah.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Music of the Night. This is yet again a Music of the Night After Hours edition. By which I mean that we're going to be doing some XP spending and gamey stuff, as well as some short vignettes between, this time, Karen, Storm, and Open Avalanche. And yeah, so if you're not into either really, really heavy roleplay or really crunchy spending nonsense, then this might not be your thing. But we thought there are enough people out there that might like it that we'd stream it.
Yeah! Let's do it!
Q, did you spend your XP? I kind of presumed you might have.
I think I spent it recently enough that I won't need to again for the next, 3 years.
Karnis, I don't think they were
How
here when
expensive
we
it is.
determined how much we
Oh.
had.
Yes, no, that is right.
I did record how many Ice and I added.
It's 9 and then 3 practical, right?
I also have written
More than
down
Stuff.
that there were, from 2 sessions, or 3 sessions ago now, we never doled out XP then. So it's actually 13 plus 3 practical for each.
13 plus 3 practical. Okay. So the two of you have an additional 13 XP and then 3 practical XP.
I have 21 XP right now.
I
So
thought that we were.
you will
weren't we-
have...
Karnis, weren't we spending the practical together, or am I making that up? Did you
No,
have hopes for
'cause-
how we might spend that?
Because Petra spent some of it already.
I did.
I thought you did.
I talked about it, but
Oh,
no, I
okay.
still
we
have.
Not-
waited.
I specifically didn't because
Oh,
of
okay.
what you said.
Good. All right. So my hope for the practical was that because you guys have 12 practical XP to spend, my hope is that you guys would.
Obadiah and I share 3 practical XP, by the way.
Yes, but now you guys have another 12 group, so 3 each.
Yes.
Spend on top of that.
I think we have 7 each.
And my hope was that you guys would look at some of the tactics, and we could spend practical XP on some of those.
Where are they?
They're in the... You need
They're
the...
in the Hunter the Vigil
document.
handbook. Starting
Is that, like,
on
tagged somewhere?
page...
It's in Slack.
Yes, it is. Starting on page 211. Okay. However, we don't have to spend that on tactics right away. We can. So there's 2 ways we can do this. You guys can tell me the tactics you would be interested in learning, and I will develop ways for you to run into or create them story-wise. Or you guys can wait for them to sort of come up story-wise and then spend the XP and do that. Sort of up to you how you guys want to do it.
These are... There's too many options.
Okay, well, then let me just say it this way.
Spend
Do you
your
want to
other XP
choose?
first.
Yeah, let's do the other XP
Okay.
first. Okay.
I
So
have
you
21.
both get-
That's the number we should have, correct?
Plus 13 now. So 34. Casey, does that sound right? 34 total, none, no XP spent?
For who?
I had 27.
For somebody who's been, for Bex.
Well, she
Nope.
said that she wasn't spending it for a while before this, so.
I had never spent any
She's
XP.
never spent any XP.
Oh.
The total
Yeah.
I have credited that I've ever earned is 27.
27. Did you include the
Really?
13 in that?
PDF.
I could
it's
have
gonna
missed
be
something.
Fucking lose their mind.
Yeah, because I'm currently at 35 session XP and 7 practical. Now, I think that
Oh, actually, I have 30 total. Mine, ignoring practical, I have 30 total.
I think that a few of us may not have that total from weeks that we missed. But it should be somewhere around 30 or a bit north of that.
Okay, so 34 is very possible then.
I don't think
Sure.
so. Sounds like too much.
I never got XP for after the death of Molina.
That's the number.
I
Yeah,
know.
that
that's-
Viking-
Right, then, then I would have 34. if we got 13 XP for those sessions where there was like the lead up and then the end of that arc.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
God, this
So
is gonna drive me
34 experience
What page you
is
I just
a
Googled it.
lot.
They said something just in the 200s. Like two-
Okay. So the first place I would start, Bex, with Karen is, okay, let's think about what she's sort of been doing recently.
Crying. Having existential dread.
What page did you say tactics were on?
211. Okay, so she's been in a lot more sort of panicky, tense situations. So I can see definite reasons
I think
why
for
her
the rest of the year.
dexterity might be going up. Just sort of her innate sort of reaction speed could definitely be increasing. She probably wants to start picking up some computer. Some computer skills.
That's fair, probably.
I would say that
Um,
either your presence or manipulation, given the sheer number of social encounters you've had recently, would probably go up a little bit. And that's
what's going to have to do to fucking lie to people that you're convinced is correct that I am convinced is not?
anytime you're trying.
Because you say everything I say is lying.
Anytime you're trying to lie to people, or convince them to do something, or convince them not to look too deeply into a situation, it's going to be manipulation.
That's what I thought. Okay, Google, stop.
Dear Lord.
Sorry.
Yeah. So aside from that, I can definitely see in the coming months. So the other thing to think about is what might you be doing in the coming months? So I can see you and Tatharis maybe training up on some of your physical skills, maybe weaponry or athletics going up a little bit.
I mean,
Definitely your subterfuge could go up.
Wait, dentistry is a tactic?
Yes.
It's used tongue in cheek.
It's for defanging creatures.
Okay.
Very tongue in cheek.
That being said, Karnis, depending on how much you're going to stick it to us with the prerequisites, many of these we might not be able to take because they have like requirements on everybody.
So they have requirements on everybody, but they're different, right? Because you need requirements for the so there are prerequisites for all.
Right. So I'm saying like many of these we might not even be able to do. And the ones that we're closest to, we may need to do a little prep work.
Okay. Well, then I guess I'll sort of leave it up to how you guys want to do that then.
Well, I mean,
if you
I'm
guys
just
want to
saying
look at some of them.
it's kind
Go
of
ahead.
hard for me to judge without knowing what everybody's stats are, is the problem.
well, we all know what Obi's stats are. Overall strength.
Brawl. I actually think I have more dex than strength. I do.
Let me look at something. Okay, so here is the thing. The prerequisites part is only for people who are going to be participating. So you could invest in tactics that are only between 2 or 3 people instead of all 4.
Like that.
So there is that option as well.
All right. Well, let me see how many I.
Maybe we won't actually go like super deep into tactics tonight, simply because that is something that everybody is going to have to think about.
Yeah, that's fine. While you're working with them, I'll see how many I even meet the requirements for myself.
Okay. Like, I'm pretty sure everybody has a composure and a stamina of 2. Not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure. Which means that for controlled immolation, you would only need people to pick up a survival of one dot.
Where's stamina?
Physical bottom.
Oh, I do have 2.
You have 2. Yep.
It's like you know all, Karnis.
So, yes. Obadiah has 2 stamina and 4 composure. Oh, wow. Karen has 3 and 4. And Petra, I know you have at least 2 stamina.
Yeah, but like,
composure.
for instance, I mean, I don't know how deep you want to go into this right now, but I couldn't do controlled immolation because I have no survival.
We probably don't want
Right.
to, because then we'll just get down a rabbit trail right now.
So
we'll
the
never
only
get
no
to
survival.
And then we'll never hear any vignettes, which is
we
what
need
I'm
every
excited
character
about.
to have the all requirement. Is that how that works?
You need everybody participating to have the all requirement.
Okay.
So everybody has survival at UKC.
Okay, I mean, I'm just saying, like, it would dictate how we spent other points if we actually got any of these.
Yeah. Well, but you can only spend practical XP on them.
I mean, that's fine. I'm banking my practical XP. That's fine.
Okay. And so I would be willing in the case of something like this, where all of you have survival except Petra. I would be willing to let that one survival slide. Essentially, what would be going on is everybody else is skilled enough that they can teach Petra how to use survival for that one specific requirement. So, like, if 3 out of 4 people have what is necessary, I will let the 4th person slide. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Casey?
Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
All right. What are we doing?
I'm working with Bex.
Okay.
Okay. Bex, do you need me to give you XP costs for stuff?
Hold on a second. Can you tell me what survival means?
Survival is your woodsman stuff.
Okay.
Tracking, being able to figure out what sort of plants and are edible versus medicinal versus poisonous. Identifying what kind of, you get bit by a spider. Is it poisonous or not? That's survival.
And the skill costs are just like...
Let me look them up. Hold on.
It's like some multiplier, right?
Mhm.
They're all multipliers, yeah.
If
But
I
they're
wanted the
various.
5th dot in composure, it'd be like 15 points or something, 20.
20 minimum. It might be
Mhm.
25.
I thought it was
5 times the number dot it was.
I think it's 5 times, yeah.
No,
I thought
hold
it
on.
was 3 times.
No, that's for skills.
I thought that's what we were talking about.
No.
No, I'm talking about
Composure's a attribute.
Oh, composure. Okay.
But let me double check for you here. So yes, attributes are new dot times 5. Skills are new dot times 3. Here, let me just do this.
No.
Is Karnis gone?
Seems that way.
What are you typing? Oh.
Basically, all that's going on is, like, with these tactics, it seems like they're meant for a more advanced level than we're currently at, as I look at them. Because, like, most of them have, like, one person who has to have an extended skill set, and then everybody else needs sort of a baseline. There are 6 of them that I meet the baseline for. But, like,
One that I do, probably.
But, like, I don't meet the primary requirements for any of them, personally.
Okay. It is not unlikely that none of us meet the primary requirements.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I can't see your character sheet, so I'd have to check. But, like, they do require some more advanced levels.
I mean, like, what we could do is look at which one might be the best and see if there's anybody who could even closely fit the primary skill to see if we could fudge it.
Yeah.
I
I don't
can
know.
see which ones I have if you want.
Yeah, that's fine. Sorry, I'm trying to, like, do math and it's real hard.
Like, so far, it seems like I'm surprised that you don't meet any of them because at least wait, you're saying the prerequisites or the requires? Casey.
The prerequisites.
Because, like, the first one I meet.
Which one are you looking at?
Oh, I'm just saying the first one I looked at, I met. I can look, though.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, for me, I don't have survival right now. I mean, it wouldn't be hard to get.
That puts me 1 over. No, 2 over.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, I'm almost inclined, though, because, like, there's a decent chance that we don't meet any of them right now.
That's fine, then we should
But-
just not worry about it for now.
Yeah, but I mean, like, if we wanted to target one as a group, that might be kind of fun.
Got it.
Maybe we don't take it right now, but we eventually take it. I mean, for 3 of us, I would suggest disappear.
Which 3?
What does it
The
do?
ones who aren't Obadiah.
It's basically like
Yeah!
Basically, you like dangle some bait, and then most people get away, and then you hope the one person does. Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, though, like, I'm kind of inclined to just, like, look through them and say, what do we want, and can we get there efficiently, rather than try to figure out the one that we actually meet right now.
All my XP. Yay! I actually spend it perfectly,
Cool,
too.
so when he gets
That
back,
makes
we
me
should
feel
be
really
ready,
good.
right?
Well, he has to do it for Obi, too.
I thought he had already spent his.
I'm spending anything.
Did you already spend your XP?
Well, I got 1 level Dex recently,
Huh.
which costs like 20,
Yeah.
and
You should have, like, 14 more.
14, which isn't enough to get a level of strength or Dex, or even stamina.
Why don't you put some in, like, anything not brawl related?
Because then I can't brawl harder.
Put them in drive. You could be our getaway driver.
I don't know how to drive a car,
Well, that's how you learn how to drive a car.
but I don't have time to
Toby
get a license.
teaches you.
It takes too long. It's put in hours and stuff.
You do realize that, like, months have passed in the game more, right?
Yep.
Okay, Google, turn off the timer. Okay, cancel.
Yeah, I already meet a bunch of these, Casey. I'm stopping checking because I don't feel like it anymore.
Okay, that's fine. Do you meet
But I
the
can keep-
primary for many of them, though?
I'm gonna grab you some food.
That's what I'm answering. Wait, what do you mean the primary? You mean the prerequisites?
So, there are 2 sets of prerequisites. The first one, after it says all, is
Yeah.
stuff that everybody has to have, but then it has the word partial,
Uh-huh.
and there's some extra requirements of a person who's the, quote, primary actor.
Gamera can eat a dick.
Oh, then I don't know. That's just too many details that I feel like looking at right now. I didn't check when I went through it.
Okay.
So yeah, there's definitely requirements on a primary actor versus the secondary actors. And those to me are more important than the quote unquote all requirements, as long as more people have them than don't.
I think if we picked, I like your idea though, is pick the ones that we want and work towards them if we need to, as opposed to just being like, oh, we could do this one because we have enough for it. So I think that makes sense, Casey.
Yeah.
And if there's one we like, then we can be like, then we can look at that one specifically and look at everybody's character sheets and be like, okay, who has this or who doesn't, and go from there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've always felt that's the best way to do it.
I mean, I kind of like these two. And as I said, I kind of like Disappear as well.
You would like Disappear.
Okay, let me see. I don't have Firearms 3.
I do.
Okay, so you have that. Oh, are you saying of the ones that you have, those are the ones you like?
I mean, I know, I'm just looking at them. And just
Wait.
ignoring the requirements entirely.
Firearms 3 is only required by the primary actor, though, right?
Yeah, we were discussing
Yeah, but I have Firearms 4.
that we would say who has enough for the primary, too. That would be the next step once we liked one.
Gotcha. Come on.
This
Why
one's
are you
kinda
not
nice.
showing people's... I hate you right now. I'm gonna slap you. Don't make me slap you. I'll do it.
This one.
I'm sorry you guys had to hear that.
Those 5 are probably the ones I'm most interested in.
I would have to read it.
I like Disappear.
To be honest, if there are certain ones you guys liked, I'm happy to go with that because this is the stuff that's fun for you guys to pick out and becomes a burden for me to think about because I get overwhelmed. What? Oh, he just left again.
Psst, lols. That's alright. We can actually do something during this.
Are we doing something right now?
Yeah.
I would like the tactic of moral support.
What does that actually do again? Let me look at it. Oh, I mean, that one's actually not bad. It's like protection against mental invasion or manipulation.
I think I have a lot of those characteristics in my character.
I mean, it's not a terrible one.
Hi,
actually.
Karnis.
Oh, hello. Karnis just showed up from being
Hi, Karnis.
down and then back up for like 15 hot seconds and then back down again.
My soul is literally in shreds and bleeding out on the floor.
Literally?
Literally.
Should I call an ambulance?
I can
Soul
I can
blood on
show
you.
you if you would
Wash
like
out.
to see.
Do not get the soul blood on your clothes. It does not wash out.
Okay.
Okay. Did I actually get did I get that pasted? No, I didn't. Okay. So let me find that XP cost then. Balls. All right, there we go.
What's that?
That's XP spending.
Oh, got it.
I mean, you guys aren't going to have contracts and or weird, so.
What are we doing?
Or clarity, actually, for that matter. Clarity equals humanity? No, morality. Morality.
What's word?
We don't have
Weird
that.
is something that isn't applicable to our game.
What's word? I had the same thought.
Is it bird?
It's
Wired.
weird.
Bird word.
It's weird.
I just want to hear what happens to Karen and Obi.
Well, hold on. This is different. Why is this different?
So while he's doing that, I typed a bunch of stuff in chat. Does anyone have thoughts?
Let me read it.
I didn't see any of it.
So basically,
I vote for moral support just because A, got fucked last time. Not fucked, but like it was difficult last time with the whole mental manipulation thing. And if we are in fact dealing with Faye, not a bad choice.
I mean,
I do like that one, but that's very much Maya to like that one.
Moral support is actually extremely good.
Like-
There's not a.
go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, there's not a lot of things you guys can do to bolster your ability to stop mental invasion / manipulation. Like, and it's a thing that the stronger foes you go up against, the more regular it's going to become.
I have enough for the primary. Does anyone else have enough for the primary on that one?
I don't have enough for the primary, but I've got enough for the normal
What page is
prerequisite.
it on?
It's
It's-
226.
The primary
And
is
which one?
presence or
222.
manipulation 3 and empathy 2.
I don't think I have empathy 1.
Sorry, I think
I mean, but you have resolve 2, right?
I have a buttload of resolve. I have like. Oh,
I
actually, no.
might meet the
I have a little
requirements.
wit. I do have
have
2
to look at them
resolve.
first.
Okay, so
Wait,
I mean,
hold on. Reread them to me. I might have them. Sorry.
Okay, so sounds like Obi's close, but definitely doesn't have primary. So Karen, the prereqs are resolve 2 and empathy 1.
I have empathy 2. I've got
Yes,
Sorry,
you have
I've got
resolve
resolve
2
2.
empathy 2.
okay,
So
Okay.
you meet the prereqs.
And then the primary is presence or manipulation 3.
I have
And
presence
you already
3.
have empathy 2.
She,
Presence 3. Or no, I got persuasion 3. I'm sorry.
yeah,
I've got
you,
manipulation 2.
yeah, you don't have presence
So
or
I am the
manipulation
only one
three.
who could be primary on that one.
but
Yes, you
we
are.
actually meet the requirement for that with you as primary, and
Yes.
as Karnis says, it's actually not a bad one for our group.
Okay, that's fine
I
with
vote.
me.
Okay. All right,
Does
I
that
guess we're
mean-
doing it.
Does that mean I need to pay attention to when I should be acting as primary on that? Is that what
So
how do these work?
basically, what tactics are a thing that you guys will choose to do usually before going into a situation, but you can sort of audibly call out to do that in a situation. But basically, you guys will roll. You'll all roll your initiative, and then you guys will talk and say, "Hey, we're going to do this." And
Okay.
then you will know that you're going to be primary in that situation. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So, I mean, yeah, it's 13 practical experience. I think we got that. Like, it's probably a good one to do.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah, you guys should easily have 13.
So I can contribute up to 4. How many does everybody else have?
I believe Obadiah and Karen should have 6 each. Does that sound right?
I have 7. I thought.
I got 3 between Obi and me specifically, and then 12 overall.
I only have 7 listed.
Talking about practical experience only.
Yes.
Well, how do you want to do this? Sounds like, how many do you have, Maya?
5.
Okay, so sounds like we could all donate the 4. Do you want to donate like
You
the
mean I'll
one,
donate
the
3?
one odd practical XP that's floating between Karen and Obi? Then they can divide up the other 2, and everyone contributes 3.
So 3 from everyone, and then 1 extra shared from Karen and Obi.
Right, because they're currently sharing 3, and that just makes it even that way.
That's fine. I mean,
Does
as
that
long
sound
as they're cool
reasonable
with
to
that.
people? All right.
As long as they're all right with it.
All right. Cool.
I don't really understand what's going on, so.
So
Okay.
we're all giving 3 practical experience to purchase this. No. 'Cause it
Yeah, we're
costs
all giving
13.
3.
Yeah,
That's
we're
what
all
she
giving
said.
3, but you guys were sharing 3 between each other. So Petra
right.
suggested that you give one of those 3, and then you can each keep 1 instead of like sharing the one that you had. So basically, let's say you're giving 4 and he's giving 3 because you had that one random one that you were sharing between you, and you can't keep a half.
Okay.
Yeah, so you'll go down to
1 between Obi and me.
just go down to consolidate all of yours into.
So there's that
You should end up
3
with
that the
4.
2 of you are sharing.
Yes.
Disappear
They get it.
one
They
of
get
it,
it.
and then divide the other 2. Okay. Sorry,
They
people
get it.
kept talking.
Yes,
so.
I understand
They get
that
it.
part. I just don't know what.
You'll end up with 4 after everything's done.
Yes. Yeah, you'll end up with 4
Right here.
total.
You'll just have 4 on your potion.
Okay.
So just like remove all the different things and just have practical XP and just say 4.
There you go.
Cool.
Okay.
Oh, hey, we've also been together more than 3 months with no alteration in membership. Boom.
You.
Some of these
have-
modifiers
well-
actually apply.
Okay, so hold on.
Okay, no, we don't have to
So-
worry about it right now. We're not currently using it.
So here's the thing. in the when we get there, yes, you guys will have been together.
That's all I was talking about.
Like currently, right after you guys finished meeting Melina, you guys have only been together for 3 days.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm talking about...
After these vignettes, we'll have been together for 3 months.
Yes.
Exactly, that's my point.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So, KC, Ice, do you guys want to do the safe house now? That's the other thing we need to do.
Sure.
Together?
Yes.
Yeah.
As a
we can
group.
do that.
Okay. So. Bum, 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 bringing up the book.
Bum.
It's a decent PDF. All right, where are you? Merits. Why are they not in here? WTF, bro?
I'm gonna get me a bubble water.
Stop being an asshole.
Alright, fine.
There we go.
Nope.
Going through professions, past professions. Nope, that seems too far. DW. Y'all are bullshit.
Rude.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking to the
What
book.
she said.
I'm sorry. I'm not actually talking to you guys. I'm talking to the book.
Sure. Uh-huh.
Oh, sorry.
What determines what order our little pictures are in? Because we're always in the same order.
Probably the
color.
order we joined the game.
Yes. That actually makes way more sense than what I was going to say. Where is...
What book do you need? What book do you need?
I'm looking through the Hunter book, and I'm trying to find the Goram merits page.
1 second.
Hit Control F and type in merits.
That's what I'm doing.
No.
Well, that word is there a lot is the only problem.
Yeah, that is the downside.
But that's what I'm doing.
Wait, here we go. I found it. All right, we're good.
They saved the raccoon. They saved him.
The trash panda? Page 108 to 177.
A lot of work into getting that thing up.
Actually, it's page 70, but...
Hunter characters may choose from the standard merits offered on page 108 to 177.
Oh, that's in the World of Darkness book. I'm
That's
looking for
true.
Hunter's specific merits.
67 to 74.
Yep.
Happy guy.
Okay, so there are four different areas in which to spend the points for a safe house.
Wait, there are points for a safe house?
Yes.
Where are we looking?
Your safe house, aka the Wellman house.
I'm going to turn it into a bunker.
That might not work. Yes, page 70 is the beginning of it on the Hunter. Your safe house has a total point number of 9. And there are 4 areas in which you can allocate these points. One of them, unfortunately for you guys, is fixed.
Size 2.
Size, and it is a size 2. So you have 7 other dots which to allocate into cash, traps, and secrecy.
As an adjunct professor at a university state school, I suggest cash.
Oh, this is not
CAC.
CAS. Yeah, different kind of cash.
I want money too.
Like weapons cash.
Damn it.
Yes, so
That's not a bad
Cache.
idea too, though.
yeah, cache or cash is your the stuff you've stored there. So
Like the
weapon,
armory.
No, I
special
understand.
spell ingredients.
We could put a torture suite in there, guys.
Also, torture suite's a thing. So traps are traps. They're pretty self-explanatory. And lastly, secrecy is basically how well you guys can hide your identification to it.
I feel like that's kind of fixed too, right? It really can't be more than a 2, given
It's
how we
not.
got it.
See, here's the thing, though. It's not, because you can go to, like, a property lawyer and have it sold a couple of times and moved around. And again, if you remember, 2 sessions ago, I told you that the number of people that can actually connect you to that property are fairly small. Because
Okay.
while it was willed to you, my presumption was that you never technically moved it into your name,
I see.
unless you want to. But
I mean, why would I?
exactly. So I would say the secrecy is a minimum 2, but could go higher. So, thoughts, people. You all are sort of doing this together. So, like, Petra by no means can do this on her own.
I think we just
Cash.
need some level of
I think
cash and some
dark
level
object.
of traps.
Okay. I mean, that totally makes sense. Like, those are things you guys definitely need.
Like, I feel
I
like
wouldn't mind
3.
added secrecy. Does secrecy include, like... Hold on. I'm formulating a question.
Okay.
It's like right there. I almost have it. Oh, okay. Does like secrecy include things as well, like security cameras or like privacy fences and like that kind of stuff, so that like people can't really see who's coming in and out?
That's
No.
kind of like the traps.
That, well, so here's the thing. It might fall into that if the house weren't where it is.
See, I don't have any background knowledge about what you're talking about, so that's why I'm asking.
Okay, so the house is in Firestone Park, which is a basic sort of not inner city, not suburb, just sort of like city neighborhood. The
It's
houses
just very
are
residential.
very residential. The houses are like, 20 feet away from each other, and everything is very close. If you set up a giant security fence, people would pay more attention to it rather than less. However,
You still
if
add
you
cameras?
want to add traps, you could add cameras. And I would say that that is probably... I would honestly say that that's something you guys could do outside of either traps, secrecy, cache, or size. It would be something that you guys could add that would basically give you a heads up when you see, like, it would give you an advantage on noticing people approaching. It would be a separate thing.
Okay, so as someone who's lived in Firestone Park,
Agreed, Petra.
I'm not sure how important secrecy is, but this may be getting too into like the details of the story, so you can stop me if you need to. What?
I mean,
Well,
I think
so
it's helpful.
secrecy isn't like it being hidden.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know how much
No,
more secrecy is going to do for us.
It's about how
Like,
easily...
who owns it and how easy it is to find
it's
us.
about... Yes. So, like, you're going to run into bad people, right? Those bad people will eventually find your names. A safe house isn't safe if they can easily connect your name to the safe house.
Okay.
That's what secrecy is.
I would be happy, because, like, my house has already been ransacked once,
Yeah.
so I'm okay with adding more secrecy. They already know who, somebody already knows who I am.
Well, then if we can take something out that, like, if I'm understanding Karnis correctly, that we can do something like that we could keep eyes on the property, then I would say take one out of cash and leave it, as you're saying, it to put like cameras or something up, and then I would agree with what you're saying. Why don't
It's not going to be a part of the dots. If you want to do security cameras, you guys are going to have to pool resources. Yeah, and just sort of do it, and then it'll just be like a flat thing. You guys can
security
do.
cameras are not expensive.
They're not super expensive, but none of you have dots and resources.
Then let's just go with what Casey said.
Unless you guys can convince Toby to invest into your operation.
Petra, I do agree with you. I'd like secrecy at 4, but I also agree with your question about realism.
Yeah, I just don't know how we're realistically getting our name off all the documentation given the story setup.
Okay,
So
but if you guys read what 4 dots is, though, 4 dots is I'm reading it right now. 4 dots is the hunter never goes back to the place if he doesn't have to, never gets there by the same route, and his real name never appears on any of the documentation. Your name already isn't on the documentation, so unless we're making 4 mean something different, I don't know how much better 4 is than 3.
Petra's name already is on the documentation.
No,
Right.
it's not.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, 3 is considerable difficulty in tracing the property the hunter might just be squatting. So, basically, there's not even that much difference between 3 and 4.
The difference is how hard it is for somebody to find you.
Yeah.
So here's the thing.
Right, which is what I'm concerned with.
But I just read the description.
No, I understand.
But the GM might add to that.
You guys, the difference for you guys will literally be how often you guys can meet there.
Okay, then yeah, I think then maybe we should make it 4 and take 1 out of cash. Because we have some weapons, so it's just extra weapons.
So like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so it will be size 2,
As long as everyone agrees with that, if that's good.
cash
I would-
2. Sorry.
I would prefer if it was, hold on. How many points do we have?
9.
9 total, but 2 have to go into size. So 7.
Perhaps outside of the thing itself. That's fine.
Obadiah, Q. Thoughts?
I probably want more cash and traps than secrecy.
But nobody knows who you are, so that doesn't count. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Well, I mean, okay,
So-
so there is some value in adding. So 3 secrecy is good. Like, it's solid. It's hard to find. And if you wanted to maintain 3 secrecy and then keep, like, cash or traps higher, that does give you additional. Remember, again, none of you have resources as a merit. So none of you have resources to spend on stuff. So having that extra ammo or that extra item that you might need is not a bad thing.
I mean, I'm honestly considering this setup too.
That's okay with me too.
Last 4 lines.
Yeah, and you don't have to have traps, right? So, like,
But I think that Obi is the one who said that he cares about cash and traps, so I would say let him say what he would suggest for that though before we take all the traps away.
Pitfalls. Everywhere besides the path that we
okay,
It's everywhere.
just
before we
pitfalls.
complete the conversation, I will say you guys can invest more XP into the safe house. The only
Okay.
2 things you can't change are size and secrecy.
How, oh, okay. Well, that...
Oh.
Because you can invest
That
additional
makes a
traps.
big difference.
Yes, you can invest additional traps. You can invest additional cash. No, you know what? You can invest additional secrets. So the only thing you can't change is size. You can now, mind you, if you invest additional secrecy later, you can't make it a 5. But
Oh, wait. Because the, let me see. How much does it cost to up the safe house?
it's 2 times dot.
Okay, so this is a setup just like when we're creating characters, and that, like, really makes you want to up a few things a lot and then ignore other ones at first.
So you guys could totally invest in, like, cash and secrecy and then build traps later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you could, vice versa, invest in secrecy and traps and build cash later.
I like cash
I prefer
better than
cash
traps.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of voting in favor of this last setup that I made. The
Okay, so we wanna-
2340.
Go to 5 on secrecy
I mean, it sounds
and
it
put
sounds
cash
like a.
to 2.
I mean, if you guys want to go to 5 on secrecy, I'm gonna make you guys roleplay it.
So let's go to 4.
No, let's go to 4.
Let's go to 4.
Because-
I
Well,
don't
no,
know. I
because-
kind of want the 5, to be honest.
Because it's
I-
it's really, really hard to get a 5 in secrecy.
Yeah.
I am slightly concerned just
And also, you need to find an actual buyer for the house if you're going to do that.
Let's do
So-
4.
That's willing to let you come and do shit.
Now, here's
4.
the thing, though. Let me throw this out
4.
there. If we bump that to a 5, number 1, that's like the most efficient way we can possibly do it in terms of spending XP later. Number 2, Karnis is basically offering to let us roleplay it to make that a reality.
Oh, no, hold on.
It may not be a reality.
You will have to succeed at some rolls.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's not just a role play.
Okay,
Yeah,
why
no,
don't
I
we,
vote for.
yeah, why don't we do 2340 then?
Okay. No, like I mean, like you have to convince a person to live in a house and know that people can come in at all times of the night and be okay with that.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I think that makes sense.
My
And I
My
am in
concern is
favor of. Go ahead.
Oh my god. Okay. My only concern is how useful is the safe house? Like, I'm assuming the 4 means, and this is just a question, that like you can't, like obviously you can't just go there every day, but like in an emergency situation you can go there, correct?
Yes. So
Okay.
a 4 secrecy means when you guys do like team meetings, you're not doing it there.
Got it. Okay.
It like you guys go there only when circumstances are dire and or to set shit up.
Got it.
So basically, we already sort of established a meeting where you're all gonna meet at the safe house to sort of get everything set up and everything, and then like that's gonna kind of be the last time you guys are there for a while, at least.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
For what it's worth, I am in favor of upping the traps to 1 at least at some point, just again as a sort of alarm system.
Okay, so you guys have practical experience, right?
Yeah.
You can totally use that right now.
I mean, it's only 2 points.
Yeah.
I'll ante 1.
I only have
I'll add 1.
Okay.
Okay,
Cool.
great. We're done.
So Karen and Petra.
I've got 4 points, and now I have 3 points.
Yes. So
I
Karen
only have 2.
and Petra add a practical, and traps goes to 1. So it's 2, 3, 4, 1.
Correct.
And your
Cool.
trap is an alarm system. essentially?
I'm basically thinking
It's an
of.
alarm
So I'm
system.
looking at this.
Okay.
Actually, so this says electrified floor.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually something I could set up.
Mm-hmm.
So the natural. Now let me see. I only get 1. So
Yeah.
I mean, I guess just like whatever the most natural entrance is, which I imagine is going to be the front door.
Well, here's
or
the
back
thing, though.
door.
So here's the thing. Like, if somebody's going to try to jump you, are they going to come through the front door?
Hey, it's reverse psychology. They know that we're not thinking they're going to come through the front door, so that's where they're going to go.
Okay, I tell you what. Instead of making it do bashing damage,
Okay.
we'll change it so it simply slows somebody's first move to 0, and we'll
Okay.
put it at the front and back door.
That. Okay, so it's like a stun trap.
Yes.
You tase them.
That's.
Wait, does that work if they wear rubber shoes?
Yes, it still works.
Can I? All right. So I'm gonna go into bargaining mode. Can I bargain
Okay.
for 1 point of bashing damage instead of 3?
Yes.
Okay.
I'll allow it.
All right, I'll take it.
And I'll allow it because almost anything that's going to come into your safe house has bashing soak way above 1.
We'll keep out the common criminal, though.
And yeah, and if thugs break into your safe house, they're fucked.
All right, whatever. I got something.
All right, cool.
All right.
Okay.
I should have bargained for 2 instead of 1.
I would have
Oh, well.
I would have said no.
Okay. That's all right. I got the stun, which is probably just as useful, if not more, than the actual damage.
I mean, the fact of the matter is, you guys can still, at some point, try to convince Obi to invest. Like, it's a thing.
Toby.
I'm sorry, Toby. I misspoke.
So, if we were trying to get Toby to invest,
Yeah.
would Karnis be speaking as Toby, or would Obadiah be getting in the way of us speaking to Toby?
Yes.
Okay.
By the way, for what it's worth, here's how I've got this rigged up, okay? You use the key on the door, flips a little circuit, you walk in fine. You try to like, or wait a minute, let me think here.
If you
Try
pick
to
a
break
lock, it
in,
would work
or
the
even
same
jimmy
way.
the lock and get in. It doesn't trip correctly because it's a different part of the key. It's keyed differently. All right, that's how I'm going to throw this out there. So, boom, off.
So I'll say this. The easiest way to do that is to have a chip in the key.
Okay. I mean, or you could just have, like, a key with some insulating material that breaks the circuit, for instance.
Yes. No, that would work too. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Or even when, okay, so are you familiar with how you have to sort of lift tumblers when you're picking a lock? So when you lift tumblers, you have to do it quickly because each individual tumbler will start to fall. So you could make it so that all the tumblers have sort of a trip section.
Yeah.
So if they're not all in the complete upright position, then it trips.
Okay.
The problem with that is if the key starts to get worn, it could trip on one of you.
I like my idea.
Okay.
Just remember to
All right.
leave the key in the lock when you walk in.
All right. Okay. So it's literally a, like, you put it in, switch, open the door, and it's based on the fact that the key is still in the lock.
Yeah, there's like a little safe
Because
area.
yeah, it's a conductive thing, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Now, what turns it off?
Right. So what turns it off is, all right, I got to think about this. Okay,
Fat chicks.
so there's another That's hysterical.
I just want to point out that was not me, okay? By Karen. That was Maya.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I didn't mean it.
I'll think about this. I'll get back to you in chat.
Okay. Anyway,
We still love you.
Karnis is mad at me.
not at all. No, like 100%, not at all.
Okay.
Oh, okay. It's just on a... It's geared, basically. So you just have to, like, wait a little bit.
Explain?
Okay. You stick the key in. You open
Yeah.
it.
Mm-hmm.
That triggers a little mechanism on the inside that basically has a little wheel under tension.
Right.
And once you wait long enough, it clicks that off. So you just gotta wait a couple seconds before you take out the key.
Oh, so it's no longer based on the key specifically. It's based on waiting that moment.
Right.
Oh.
And so if you like jimmy the lock, you're not gonna have the pins out of position for very long. So it won't get all the way through the cycle. And then there's another one that when you turn it back.
Whoa, but this also does another thing. This means that in that moment where you have to panically get into the safe house, you have to wait that crucial extra couple seconds.
I'm thinking.
It's a drawback, and I like it. It's a good drawback. It's a
Well-
good drawback because it's not bad, but it's narrowly bad.
No, I got it. I have the real idea.
Okay.
The lock
None of that was
has
it.
two sets of tumblers. The bottom ones are under tension. No, wait, no, that doesn't work because you can just trigger them both at the same time. I'll think about this some more.
You know what? Fuck it. You guys are all immune. Anyways, because I'm done worrying about this bullshit.
I'm having fun
Um,
thinking this through.
Yes, I realize that. And if it were just you and me, we would sit here and do this back and forth all night. But it's not. So whatever it is, you figured it out. It works. You guys can get in and out. Other people can't.
All right.
So,
Think about it on the train tomorrow.
No, I already figured out another idea, but I'm not even going to waste our time. Suffice to say, I have something in my brain I'm pretty sure works.
okay.
Cool.
Karen, Obadiah.
Yeah.
I've already talked to Petra and Maya about this, but so you guys finish off the fight at the Woman House of Molina. Everyone goes to the funeral. You all sort of go your separate ways. There's going to be sort of a break point of 3-ish months, give or take. What does Karen do in that meantime?
Well, it's only October, so I have to teach students at some point.
Obviously.
And do finals and shit like that. I spend some time. What I increased my skills for. I've already forgotten. I just did it.
It looks like you put your manipulation up, your dexterity.
Yeah, so I spent some time, I think, probably just training with Titharius, just because I don't want to feel so caught unprepared, I guess.
Okay.
I spent some time researching, trying to find a way back, because that's always my life goal. But also just looking into other things about the area to see if I can, fucking head off or prepare. Just general kind of stuff, learning about mythologies that I don't necessarily know.
Okay.
Hence the computer.
Okay.
And then I don't really know how I get the manipulation, but I think just more time around Titharius.
Yes.
So I'm gonna go with.
Definitely. Okay, so I think, and if you don't feel comfortable with this, let me know. I think you're sort of the camera opens on Karen sort of walking away from the funeral, and she gets in her car and drives home, and you go out and you sort of sit down under your tree, which is still there, by the way, which is weird. And you're sitting there and just sort of feeling the moment and understanding everything and thinking about everything that's gone on in the past couple of days. And then a rapier just drops in your lap.
Excuse you. I was having a moment.
You look up, and Titharius is leaning against the tree and sort of staring down at you. Yes.
Also, you do know that how many people use these nowadays, right?
Then it'll be surprising, won't it?
No, it might be potentially useless.
You have not spent enough time, apparently, around things as old as I am. He takes a step back and draws a sword and sort of takes on guard position.
You know, fencing wouldn't have saved me in that house, you know.
He lowers the blade and looks at you. What if the blade was made of iron?
Well, then that would kill you. It wouldn't have killed her.
It would have hurt her.
Find the girl in chains that would have hurt her and dimmed her powers.
Maybe she had to.
Whatever. That makes no sense.
I
reluctantly...
He sheathes his blade and he sits down across from you.
Oh, it's already standing up.
He sits down. He sits down and you stand up. And he sort of looks up at you and just cocks his head.
Nope.
You sit back down, and he takes the sheath and unsheathes the blade a short bit and lays it back down in front of you. And you see a very beautiful blade that looks to be woven of multiple kinds of metal. You've seen Damascus steel, right?
Yeah.
It's a very similar look to that. Different, but similar. So you can see these waves of varying kinds of metal sort of through the blade. And he reaches out a hand and sort of touches you between the eyes. And you can all of a sudden see these shimmering currents along the blade of gold and silver and red and black sort of just pulsing through it. Do you think I would give you something that would be useless?
Something that was useless. I just said you're definitely showing your old man age with fencing as your choice.
It's what I can teach, and as limited as that may be, no vampire, no werewolf, no spirit, no demon, no manner of fae will enjoy being bit by this blade.
That does mean, though, that I will be in close range with other monstrosities, which is something I would rather avoid for the rest of my life. No matter how long that is.
He holds out a hand.
Get!
What?
I'm confused.
I said he held out his hand to you.
His hand to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I said I'd take it.
Oh, okay. All I heard was it.
Oh, yeah, you cut off.
No. Blame him.
So you you take his hand, and wooden vines begin to slowly wrap up your arm and across your chest and then down your other arm in that what you're now very familiar with, this sort of
Fey armor.
Elemental Fey armor, yes. That's why
Did you know I can do this on other people too?
I did.
Did you also know that I can cast wind spells now?
He leans back a little bit. No.
The angrier I get, the more wind it is.
I didn't give that to you. Who did? I missed that. Sorry.
Book.
A book?
Yes.
All right.
From that girl who hates you. Well, your kind.
Ah, the witch.
Yes, that one. I don't know. Fey kind.
Interesting.
Or just that one.
Hold on. Mm-hmm. 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 He leans back and crosses his fingers and looks at you. Fascinating.
You're telling me.
I
destroyed a store. Did I what?
Did you know
Did I know what?
that you have dual parentage?
Do you want to explain that phrase to me?
So, I've spoken to you before that you are of my people. You know
At least a little bit. Yeah.
Of course. But for you to have read a spell and immediately spoken it you must also have the line of a very, very powerful mage in your family as well.
Fantastic. I don't know. This is all just...
I guess it
A bit
explains why you can resist my charms as well. He leans forward and kisses you as you start to speak.
I lean back. That has more to do with the fact that you're rusty.
He kisses you on your neck as you lean back, and then slowly kisses down your neck, and then leans you down into the grass, and then we cross out because we know what happens.
Cacao.
Oh, yeah.
Cacao is the safe word.
Huh?
They play a board game.
Cacao is the safe
Let's
word.
Get It On starts playing in the background.
Let's get lucky.
Or that.
All right,
Hi.
Obadiah.
Hi.
I like tormenting the person who could easily kill me. It's great.
I mean, he's tormenting you, but in a different way.
This is not a PG-13 episode.
Nope, no, it's not. And I lost Q. He smacked his camera in rage.
What?
To be fair, I swear enough that it's probably never PG-13.
Your camera went black for a second. Anyways,
You look so film noir.
Yeah.
so what is
NPR.
Obadiah doing during this period, given the things he's sort of remembered and the hungers he's sort of starting to feel?
Ooh.
Okay, so Obadiah,
Hunts.
in 3 months' time, let's see. He will grow an epic beard,
Okay.
kill a 12-point buck with a bow,
I think he kills it with his bare hands, but okay.
drink tobacco from a pipe, survive a rattlesnake bite, build a log cabin,
Okay.
With what resource?
rebuild an
Such
engine,
asshole.
hike the
Wait.
Appalachian Trail, and learn to weld.
I'm sorry, did you say rebuild an engine?
Look,
Rebuild an engine.
Okay. Does he have any crafts at all?
His
He's
man
working on
card.
earning his
Karnis.
man card. He's trying to check his out.
Okay, so I'm okay with 3 of those things.
Which 3?
Kills a 12-point buck. And fuck a bow. He uses his bare hands.
and grow a beard.
How do you fuck a bow?
Grows a beard.
There's plenty of ways.
And
I don't know if
Doesn't
Obadiah
sound
has time to
comfortable,
fuck a bow in 3 months. I think there's a bit more lead up to that.
Wait, no. You don't know if he has time to do what? Oh,
Sorry.
and definitely hikes the Appalachian Trail. Okay, so I had incidentally sent Obi on a trip via Toby during our last session. If you don't want to do that, I will retcon it. But I totally think Obi takes a trip out onto the Appalachian Trail.
That seems like a Toby thing to do. Obi thing to do.
To kill a
Yeah.
buck with his bare hands
Yeah.
and fuck a bow.
You survive on
Okay.
your own skills.
So first off, write down on your character sheet that you have 1 eagle heart,
Okay.
you have what was the other one? Eagle, bear. Oh, wolf.
Alligator.
Wolf. So you have 1 eagle heart, you have 1 wolf heart.
And clearly a deer heart because I strangled one.
And 1 deer heart, but I don't know what a deer heart. No, I do know what a deer heart does.
You
Okay.
can leap and prance like a beautiful doe.
I mean, yeah, it gives some speed. So yeah, and a deer heart. Your bear heart is empty.
Bear heart. It was a very sad bear.
And your cougar heart is also empty.
Ooh.
So we'll start off by having a moment that may or may not have happened actually down in the basement, and I'll let you, Q, sort of decide when it happened. But sometime over the next, like, night or so, you have this flashback, this memory, and maybe even a dream. And you find yourself sitting at a small fire out in the woods. You smell roasting meat over the fire. Maybe venison, maybe rabbit. They smell kind of the same at first. You'll have to wait till it cooks a little further to be sure. And across from you, sort of leaning against a tree and taking the odd slug from a bottle of bourbon, is a man that you now view with quite a bit of uncertainty.
Maybe
his dark hair sort of falls out of his cowboy hat a little bit, and one of his cold ice blue eyes is covered. The other is sort of watching you. He's tall, taller than you maybe even, but lean and thin. His skin weathered from years under the sun. And Elijah takes another slug from the bourbon bottle and then sort of tosses it over to you. Go ahead.
Is Sasquatch contagious? Elijah brand Sasquatch? Is it contagious in any way? Is it like John Carpenter's The Thing?
Not as far as you know. Make me a... Hold on, let me look at your character sheet.
If it has anything to do with intelligence, good luck.
Make me a intelligence occult roll. It's actually 4 days.
Well, I've got a lot of occult.
No, +1, because it's your specialty.
One success.
So, you've asked Elijah this actually in the past, and he actually hit you in the mouth. You think he might have broke your jaw. Mostly for calling him a Sasquatch. And he explained to you that he is a completely, entirely different level of evolutionary being than you are, and that no, you cannot catch it.
Ridiculous. Nobody is more evolved than I.
Did you see what I can do with the salsa?
What you
Bless
took
you.
from it, what you took from his like hour-long rant was that he's a different species and you can't catch species.
Squatch. The worst kind.
That was a good hump, boy. I'm impressed. You learn fast.
It's because I'm so highly evolved. Say more so than you.
You're still going on about that, huh? Well, I'll tell you what. I'm sorry about going off on you, but when you live as long as I have, it gets to be slightly insulting when people insinuate that you might be diseased. However, we need to go over what you can learn from our most recent kill. He leans forward a little bit and brushes back a little bit of hair that covered that right eye of his and looks deep into your eyes. Make me a resolve composure roll. Is that your 3 successes right there?
Yeah.
Okay. You have this weird feeling where you taste grass and the earthy goodness that it brings to your tongue. And then you hear something sort of a light crack off in the distance. And you look up and you see something coming in on you, and then pain, and then blackness. And then in that blackness, you feel the swiftness, the fleet of foot. And you open your eyes and you look back into Elijah's, and the both of you stand and take off into the woods. And 2 to 3 hours later, and about 3 states later, you let down in a small gully in Kentucky and build a fire. And Elijah sits down and says, "Good. I'm impressed. You take this very quickly, Obadiah."
I say I'm highly evolved.
I have to say, I haven't taken an apprentice in a very long time. I'm beginning to wonder if there's more like you out there, if I shouldn't have 100 years ago. He adjusts the brim of his hat a little bit, pulls out a couple of stakes, throws them onto a stone, and sets them over the fire. And you fade out.
So the kind that aren't made of wood.
Yeah. Deer steaks. The deer you were a moment ago. And you pull out of the memory back into wherever you were, whether it was that basement or whether it was you later sitting down on your bed or in front of a glass of whiskey.
I'd say it's like in the middle of having sex with the bow right before orgasm. That's probably when the flashback happened.
You know what? That's absolutely when it was. And describe this bow to me. What does she look like?
A Sasquatch.
Does
That means
Obadiah
nothing.
just
That
see
means
all?
absolutely
No.
nothing.
No, hold on. Does Obadiah see all people as Sasquatch? No, I have to know the answer to this.
Yes.
Okay. Right. That's a really fascinating, interesting thing to learn. Okay.
Well, it's a developmental thing from when he was a kid.
No, totally. I get it.
Well,
It's
you guys
just
never
really-
did a prequel, so
Well,
knows?
As a kid, he was told that Sasquatches are monsters who do horrible things, and then he saw people do horrible things.
horrible thing. No, I absolutely get it. It's just really fascinating to me. I like it a lot, actually.
Are ghosts the worst kind of Sasquatch? Because not only are they look like people, but they also have like weird powers that are not like people.
Anything that's bad is the worst type of Sasquatch.
I mean, I'm willing to bet that Obadiah views all of you as the worst type of Sasquatch.
No. We're just Sasquatch. Can't be the worst kind of Sasquatch.
No, that's okay. That's really interesting. All right. Okay, cool. So, remembering all of this, does Obadiah go on a hunting trip? Knowing that he sort of needs to replenish some of his reserves, if you will.
I have to decide whether or not it makes more sense to actually go try to hunt them or to just like buy animal hearts on eBay.
Okay.
Do you have to kill it yourself?
Yes, you absolutely do.
Right,
There's a
he
whole
runs out there
ritual
and
to it.
He strangles things.
And you would remember. Okay, so you've remembered all of this. You've remembered most of your time with Elijah, and yeah, it's not just eating the heart. It's the act of hunting and conquering and killing. And then there's a ritual to honor the dead. So yes, you absolutely have to do it yourself, and you cannot use a weapon. It has to be like okay. So if you were to use a knife or something, that would be considered by the earth fangs or teeth, but you can't like use a gun or a weapon that projects something.
Well, Obadiah basically punches and strangles things anyway.
Yeah.
Bears.
All right. So you go hunting bears.
Yeah, my bear heart is empty. I need to fill it back up.
Okay. So you go to the Appalachian Trail. It's the closest, easiest place to find a bear. Do you let Toby know where you're going? Or do you just leave?
I'll just leave.
Okay. So you leave, spend a couple nights out in the woods. Your first night, you don't quite catch anything. Your second night, or your second day, you spend sort of the time sort of getting back into the mindset, and you don't really remember much from about noon on the second day until about midnight on the second day, because it was very much this blur of sensual animal instinct, and you came back into yourself sort of on the evening of the second day, as this giant bear carcass is in front of you, and you have slit open its chest and taken a bite of its heart, and the blood is sort of dripping over your chin, and you see the sage and the circle around you honoring the animal, and you can add 1 to your bear heart. And if you would like to try to hunt a cougar, make me a wit survival roll -2.
Wit survival -2.
Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, if you eat that kind of a cougar, Maya, it will not work.
Too bad. I'll
That's
take
it.
those powers.
Kill it myself and do the ritual.
All right.
I have 0 successes hunting cougar.
So you spend the rest of your sort of couple days. You get close. Let's say you even get into a scrap with a cougar a little bit, but you aren't able to overpower one without hurting yourself. And as soon as you get like even a little sort of scratch across your shoulder, those predator instincts immediately kick in and you back off, and it backs off and you go on your way. Because as a predator, if you get hurt and it stops you from being able to hunt effectively, you die. And so you take the rest of the week and sort of come home. Do you seek out Elijah at all?
No.
Okay.
He's a jerk.
He is. That's not wrong. that is not wrong. Okay. Do you think about going home?
Nah.
Okay.
I'm at home on the trail.
All right. You come back. When you come back, Toby's left you a message. You get it sort of as you leave the trail on your cell phone. and he tells you that he's going home to see his wife for a couple of days and he'll be back. And as you get back to the apartment you guys are sharing, the next night he shows up. He's got like a bag full of all the local moonshiners' new product, and you guys spend the night just getting raucously drunk. And about midnight, you guys decide to go out to the cricket because that sounds like a great idea. And you guys show up already blitzed, and
I need second chance at Cougar Arch.
you guys show up to the
We
cricket
must find a pub.
already blitzed, and Karen is already there with a younger man, younger looking than the rest of you, with sort of light blonde hair and very good looking.
His hair is borderline white.
His
It's
hair
so
is
blonde.
his hair is borderline white.
Because apparently Karnis can't remember what he looks like.
No, I said very, very light blonde.
Wait,
And
why
you said
hold
it's a
on.
much younger man.
Why is he in a bar with me? Did I miss something?
Oh no, this is after Obadiah goes on his hunt and comes back. You guys are all sort of meeting up at the cricket for like that first time you all meet each other after the
Alright, but why is Titharius here?
Because he came with you. Why wouldn't he?
You said it's a younger man, right?
He looks younger than all of you, yeah.
Promote a
It's
culture
fine,
of
I
older
guess.
women with younger men. Must attract Cougar.
I'm just so worried about him dying again.
He's not worried about that. Anyway, so you walk in and Karen is there with her younger boy toy.
Is Maya here?
Maya
Oh my God,
is
please
tending
tell me Maya's
bar, and Petra's sitting over in the corner nursing a beer. And you all sort of close out the bar together and sit down at a table and chitter chat. And if you would like to all chitter chat, I will allow that now.
I have literally never heard that in my entire life.
Okay.
But okay. Is Maya here?
Yes.
Okay.
What? Where are we
Just
at?
want to make sure we're all here.
Timeline wise.
So this is sort of a couple weeks after the funeral. That first time that you all sort of meet back together at the cricket.
Okay.
Oh, Karnis.
If
Sorry.
Yes.
I was just gonna say, I don't know if you saw in chat, but I definitely take Titharius up on his offer to train me in fencing or using the rapier or whatever.
Yes. No, he does that.
Okay. I just want to make sure that was clear.
Also, add to your inventory a rapier. No, let's call it. No, that's totally its name. Its name is the Bard's Pen.
Okay. I will write your death in your blood. And put it as an item.
Also, I am going to do this thing. Take an extra point in weaponry, Karen.
Nice. I've got 2.
And Q, take an extra point in survival.
Ooh.
KC, I did that for you and Ice, right? I gave you guys an extra skill and things. I did not? Okay, well, I'll go back and do that. I thought I did.
You gave me my brain powers, but not one not
Okay.
like a simple one like that.
No, not just a skill. Okay. That being the case, then, your name is not that. Maya, you are going to get a point. You are going to get a point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118 What makes the most sense? Yeah, it totally makes the most. It totally makes the most sense. You're gonna get a point in empathy,
Sweet.
and Petra. Petra, you're gonna get a point in occult.
Nice.
All right. Oh, did you think you thought intimidation or larceny for you?
No, that was a joke for Maya.
Oh,
I'm
gotcha.
trying to get my
Okay.
stuff working right now.
All right.
I think it might be roll 20. Bex
It very well
briefly
could be.
popped out and then back in.
I refreshed to see if I could see her.
Yeah, I tried doing that too.
It happens. It's one of those things that happens randomly, and it's really hard to predict and/or control, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, so you all come back in that night, hang out. If there's anything you guys want to say to each other, interact with each other, this would sort of be the time to do that.
So at 2 weeks out from that,
She's back.
and being in the corner nursing my beer as it was, I will sort of wave to anybody who meets my eye, but otherwise we'll just sit and think.
Sad.
Okay.
That's so sad.
Wait, waving as in like having us come over to your table wave?
No, as in like,
Hey.
I misinterpret and sit down.
All right. Tatharius sits down next to you.
hello there, Karen. Who's your friend?
His name's
He stands up and takes a small bow. Tatharius, a pleasure to meet you, young maiden.
Oh,
I
pleasure
I-
to meet you as well.
I eye this interaction hungrily from the bar, wanting to know badly who the blonde man is.
He sits back down, and then as he sits back down, he sort of like stops, like looks at you, Karen, and just sort of like leans a hand to his head. Like,
Hey,
he
you
knows
were
what
in
he
this
did.
bar plenty, okay? You might not remember it, but you've been here before.
Yes.
So-
And how many times did I act like I was born in the 1200s?
Probably all of them, because, I mean, you were a tree, so
Right.
All of the times.
all of the times.
Karen, I'm sensing that something's going on here, but maybe some other time. In the meantime, sir, what can I call you?
Tatharius,
He
Lord
said
of
that.
Spring.
Oh, did he say that? Oh.
Yeah.
Maybe not another time then. Pleasure to meet you.
No, he did introduce himself, just very weirdly.
Oh, okay. I forgot that he actually said his name in one ear and out the other. I'll think to myself and Petra.
Petra, it's a pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you as well.
You didn't tell me you got promoted.
Promoted? Is that what you
I
I
mean,
think she's talking to
Yeah,
Tatharius.
it's a general title, Karen. It's not exactly like, it's not a capital L.
Whatever. I'm just trying to be proud of your accomplishments.
And how exactly would I have been promoted when I've been stuck on the mortal plane for the last eternity?
My eyes are
Get a
scanning
tree
around. Is
badge.
anybody paying attention to this conversation besides Maya?
Say what?
I said my eyes are scanning around. Is anyone paying attention to this conversation besides Maya?
I thought it was empty by this point.
Yeah, no. At this
Oh,
point, people
right.
sort of filtered out.
I'm sorry.
So, no,
I'm not there
nobody's
tonight.
really paying attention to you
I'm
guys.
not there tonight. Okay. All right. Letting it roll then. Sorry.
I don't know. Maybe you got a tree badge or something for being a tree for longer than anybody else.
Right. No.
I don't know. Anyway,
Maya? Obadiah? Anything? You guys come
Okay,
in?
I come back from behind the bar. Presumably, I've closed up all that I need to close up by this point.
Okay.
I'm Maya. Who are you?
Greetings, Maya. I'm Taurus. It's a pleasure.
And then I look
He's
at
been here
Karen.
before.
He looks at Karen like, raises an eyebrow like, is that better?
And I go, what do you mean, Karen?
He's a tree.
He's the tree?
I
Yeah.
am most definitively not a tree.
You were.
Wait, so you were a tree. How are you a real boy now?
Magic.
This is going so rough. Okay.
With a K.
Maya, do you understand? Have you ever studied the life forms of a frog or a insect?
So I walk over while he's like
Go ahead.
listing those things off. I'm like, who is this?
You mean like from how they turn from a tadpole into a frog?
Yes, a larval stage, if you will.
It's Citharius. He was a tree.
Keith or us? Is he a dentist?
Yep. You got it.
Thinking about that all night, haven't you?
That's why I walked over.
Wait, a dentist?
Teeth are us, Titharius.
Karnis, you gotta keep in it.
Okay.
All right, so this is going well. I'm glad you were here now. I'm done. I'm out.
I'm just going to wait for Titharius to meet my eyes. I'm going to give him a small shake of my head. I'm going to raise my glass towards him and drink, and then go back to what I was doing.
He raises a glass of Irish whiskey and takes a sip.
And then I kind of turn around and look back and go, wait, so are you two together?
Yes.
The last time I checked, yes.
Ooh,
Though,
so
when we get home, that might change. I'm not entirely sure.
kinky. So how did you meet?
He saved me
I
from
said
almost
from certain death and possibly rape.
Yeah, that too.
Good man. All right.
The
That's all I
orders.
need to know.
Probably shouldn't have said that.
Hey, we're all friends here.
Titharius, have you lost all ability to control yourself since becoming a tree?
I'm 3 weeks old. Shut up.
Oh, is this what's going on? This is fun. Keep him around.
I plan to. How's Violet, Maya?
Do I know, Karnis?
Yeah, at this point, I mean, okay, so you all saw her at the funeral. She came, she was in a wheelchair. But the only person that would have had, outside connection with her, unless Karen wants to sort of pursue that,
No.
would have been Maya.
So I would just say, yeah, she's doing
Asking
good.
Maya.
I didn't really talk to her much.
Yes, you would have. At the very least, Luca sort of would have kept you updated, if you asked, which I guess you probably would have.
In casual conversation, not like
Yeah.
any
So
too
she's in rehab and she's feeling better. She's walking again. So
I say these things to
not
Karen.
perfect, but doing better.
Cool.
Okay, well, yeah, that's good. I'm concerned, but those are concerns I'll have myself, I guess.
About Violet?
No, involving Violet.
Oh.
She keeps this place, and by this place I mean the city, very safe. And I'm always a bit concerned.
When she's I see what you're saying. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, she's getting better. Obviously, she's not 100%. It was a pretty rough go she had there.
Yeah, that's an understatement.
I mean, so the only one of you that might have actually heard the full detail is Maya. But she had basically her spleen and her liver were ruptured, as well as a handful of cuts and sort of abrasions through her bow. So she spent about 14 hours on a surgical table, give or take over a couple of days, sort of sealing stuff up. Like primarily they got like bowel damage repaired so there wasn't sepsis, and then they went back in and did the liver repair, and then they went back in and did, like it was rough.
Hence
So,
the understatement statement.
yeah, no, like it didn't seem that bad at the moment, which has you all sort of thinking. Or rather, if Maya shares this, has you all sort of thinking. Because, again, when you all left the Bowman house, Anna seemed conscious and lucid and all right, but didn't make it through surgery. So, like, something happened in between time of injury and things, apparently. So, anyways.
So I probably
Being
wouldn't.
attacked by a ghost.
I probably wouldn't share all of that. I would probably keep it more casual unless someone like asked for more detail.
Okay. Understandable. All right. So you all go sort of your separate ways after that night, but sort of reconnecting and retouching. So this is sort of so there's going to be in the next week or so a invitation that goes out to all of you from Maya for a sort of party.
A Friendsgiving.
A Friendsgiving. This Obadiah is something
It'll
you
be
could
awkward
go
if they don't want to go.
if you want. Yeah, well, no, I mean, like, no, I already made you guys show up to this, but
We'll have to redact some things we already did if you don't want to go.
yes.
Plan on
sure.
going. I have to
Turn.
convince. Oh, sorry. Is it my turn? I
No,
just started.
Go ahead.
So we get the invitation in the mail, and I asked Titharis if he wants to go with me. How long is he
course.
spending
Why
with
not?
me? Like, how? Because I know he does need to travel between the planes, so I'm not exactly sure when he's here
So he
or
actually
how often he's
hasn't.
here.
So he hasn't been traveling. He's been spending the entire time with you.
Don't you need to go home at some point?
I will, yes, but when I return, I will unfortunately have to spend a good deal of time away. So I was staying as long as I could.
Good deal of time. My time or your time?
A good deal of time your time. It should be short there.
You know, actually, it should be the opposite. More time passes over there than it does here.
That's what I meant.
So short time here, long time there?
It will be a couple months here.
Forgotten that I'm theoretically being stalked by the Fall Court.
They should not be able to penetrate this area. Vi and her sisters have been very vigilant.
Yeah, but that's relying on people we don't know, one of whom was very nearly killed.
And this is why you
Heaven
notice
forbid
I'm
they
still
find you're
here.
here.
Again, this is why I'm here. I will put
The
off
barrier's
my...
weak right now, isn't it?
It is. So I can leech power from the other side, and it's helping.
Why do they want me dead so much? I mean, besides the fact that they want everybody dead, but why in particular me? Why did they follow me and stalk me and harass somebody who should never have been harassed? And I swear to God, if you're hiding anything from me, I will do something.
What is your make me a composure subterfuge roll.
Okay. Two successes.
I don't know that I really know, Karen. I've heard rumors.
Well, I mean, rumors about me, I would like them to be shared.
Well,
Granted,
there
I know
is-
it's been a long time, you've been intrigued with it.
There is, of course, the fact that you came with me and spent time with us, and they're probably bitter and envious of that.
Aimed by anyone is a territorial dispute, more or less.
Yes, and more than that, they may believe you are kin to someone important.
And or just someone in general.
Someone important.
That's very helpful. Well, if you hear anything else while you're gone, let me know. And no, we are not dressing up for this party. Before you ask.
Damn. Why not?
Clearly you haven't spent much time around people here. Not everybody dresses up for masquerade balls when it's not a masquerade ball. Most parties aren't masquerade balls, sorry.
He brings up like a picture of some goth band on his phone and holds it up and goes, "Explain this then."
That's a band! One band!
Plus, they don't show up dressed like dentists.
Well, you know what? They should have been around 300 years ago.
We'll dress nicely. Does that suit? Is that a good in between?
Fine, as long as you wear a good dress. That's all I care about.
But if you had been here on Halloween, we could have dressed up more fun while you were here on Halloween. If life hadn't gone to shit on Halloween,
He
could have
leans
dressed
in
up.
a little bit. We can pretend it's Halloween.
Okay. But only after you teach me more rapier stuff. And we look more research into me getting back. Then we can pretend it's Halloween.
Rape your stuff, pretend it's Halloween, then we'll worry about you getting back.
Fine.
He tosses a blade to you and heads out into the backyard.
Yeah!
Alright. Karen, you have a choice to make.
Okay.
You have two sort of things bubbling up inside of you. You have this odd sort of spellcraft ability, and you have these powers sort of overflowing from Ditharius. They both require you invest time with different people. Obviously, one is going to be more natural for you, but they both are options. Which one would you choose?
Spend time with Ditharius.
Okay.
I don't think that's really a question.
No, I kind of figured that's where you were going, and I figured it really wasn't. But again, you had
Thank
these
for
sort
the
of
choice.
dual path splitting. I wanted to make sure you understood it was an option.
I'm interested to see how the paths will intersect, even though I focus on one more than the other. I do feel there will probably be some kind of cause and effect later, which will be interesting.
Okay. That said,
Anyway, yes.
your wind spell is your intelligence plus dexterity
Okay.
minus the opponent's defense.
Okay.
And it deals lethal damage.
Oh, interesting.
And it also, also costs a willpower to activate.
Yeah, that's true. Your puns are lethal.
No, his puns are aggravated damage.
That's
At
true.
first.
Oh, jeez, shit. Okay. So it's 10:44. So we're sort of wrap up there tonight, and yeah.
Wait, did Obi accept my invitation to my Friendsgiving?
Oh yes, Obi, do you go to Friendsgiving with Toby?
Sure, yes.
Okay, good. Because now we don't have to wreck on anything.
I've been and you wouldn't have to deal with your friendship with Maya and her being sad that you didn't come to her Friendsgiving.
Sad Sasquatch.
Yep.
Oh my god, that's the worst kind of Sasquatch because the Sasquatch is disappointed in you.
Unhappy Sasquatch.
A disappointed Sasquatch.
Please.
All right, good night, stream, and we hope you have a wonderful Friendsgiving.
Good night, stream. I mean, mind you, the stream is currently down because my internet is terrible, but you'll see this little speech on YouTube. So have a good night, everybody.